Moving towards the next panel, please welcome Dr. Adit Gupta, Group Director, MIER Group of Institution, Jammu, who is the session moderator. Next we have Professor Dr. M.P. Punia, Campus Director, Baba Farid Group of Institutions, Bhatinda, former Vice Chairman, AICTE. Next we have Ankur Gill, Director Operations, Swami Vivekanand Group of Institutions, Chandigarh. We have Professor Naseer Iqbal, Registrar, University of Kashmir, Srinagar. We also have Dr. Subrat Sharma, Dean Academic Affairs, University of Ladakh, Leh. We have Professor Sanjay Guleria, Dean, Faculty of Basic Sciences, Sher-e-Kashmir, University of Agricultural Science and Technology, Jammu. Once again, please welcome all the dignitaries with a big round of applause. Can we have a big round of applause, please? All the panelists are supposed to kindly come on the stage.
The last panel session of the day. Request all the speakers of panel 5 to please join us on the stage. So over to you, Dr. Adit Gupta. Yeah, you may take the session forward.
So thank you so much. We are here for the last panel discussion for the day. And our topic today is educators as change makers, empowering teachers with tools, technology and training. So this is a very interesting panel discussion here today, because we see that we always say that teachers are the change makers, and they are the ones who are going to bring that meaningful impact both at the school and the higher education level. Let us try to discern as to how they are going to become the change makers for the day. Before that, I'll just request our esteemed panelists to introduce themselves so that we know who they are. And then we'll just start this discussion round.
Sure. Thank you very much. This is Professor Sanjay Guleria. I'm Dean Basic Sciences, Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agriculture, Science and Technology. And today I am present here on behalf of the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor B.N. Tripathi, SWAS Jammu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. I am Subrat Sharma, Dean Academic Affairs at University of Ladakh.
Thank you, sir. This is Professor Naseer Iqbal. So I have come all the way from Kashmir. So I am Registrar, University of Kashmir, Srinagar. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your kind introduction. We can start with the first question. I mean, when we talk about teachers as change makers, where do you see we need to take that first step to empower our teachers first, so that ultimately they can become the harbingers of change? I mean, what is the first step that we need to take?
Yeah, this is a very important question. I think that teaching to the students have totally changed. So if you go down the line and see how the teachers would be teaching the students before 2 decades, and now see right now. In fact, the classroom teaching has almost changed totally. From top to bottom. So basically, main thing is that teachers need to be well-trained in teaching the well-trained students. Because right now, as a teacher, when someone goes to the class, the student already knows that what is my class today and what the teacher is going to teach me. So therefore, teachers have to become very smart. It's not like that traditionally the teachers would go and join the class and engage the students. But now, since I am myself a professor, so I teach physics in my university.
Right.
So I see actually how the students have become very smart. So I would say that in today's event, it's very important, because as a teacher, one has to get completely revolutionized himself by using the technology. So I believe that then I can say that the teacher is a real change maker.
Right.
So as and when we will be equipped with the latest technology tools, if I have to teach any topic, and I should know actually how I want to teach, whether I should use the PowerPoint, I should use the AI, I should use the other things. So therefore, teacher has to be well trained, and then I can say that we can be the change makers of the real students.
Right. Excellent. Thank you for making that point. In fact, two things arise out of your discussion.
Yeah.
As one is the training part and one is the technology part.
Yeah, exactly.
So Subrat sir, if you can, throw light on this as to what needs to change actually for teachers to become change makers.
Actually, if you see a teacher, that it is always a challenge for him or her when he appears to a class. Because you have to deal with a very different spectra of the mindsets with the students. So everyone is not on the same platform. And similarly, now that when we are introducing the different kind of techniques and technologies, then there is another challenge that everyone is not equipped. But the one good thing is that digitally every student is empowered these days because of the access to mobile and various applications. So in that way, the first challenge to our teachers is that they must be one step ahead from their students. Now the things for the curriculum, or say, and any other thing to be available on the net, that is already available to them. Now the question comes to the teacher is that how to rectify their questions which they can generate, which were not supposed to be earlier.
Right.
So in that way, they have to be very advanced with the techniques. And now the technology is available. There are many assisting tools are also available. AI is coming up very fast. So in that way, this is the major step we have to bring, that capacity building of teachers, particularly addressing to the new challenges.
Right. Right. Thank you so much for again reiterating that point of training and professional development. So, sir, where do you think we need to start the journey of professional development of teachers, and how it can be, become a part of the regular, workload that they have in their schools and universities? How would it be apt to balance professional development with their regular work?
Yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, it's really a wonderful question. I would say that teaching is becoming a challenge. I hope whoever is sitting here must admit that. The reason being that the things are moving with such a faster pace that what is new information tomorrow, it becomes obsolete.
Right.
I would say that nowadays talking about the books is now an old story. You have to be directly connected with the online content, which is updated every day.
Right.
I would say that, for example, I'm interacting with my students today for a particular topic, but I'm consulting my books, which is a 1-year-old edition or so. So I'm keeping my students 1 year behind the current knowledge, I would say. So I would say that for any teacher, I just give you an example. When I was in the United States or in the Melbourne University recently, as a visiting professor, I could see there that their more focus is on online content, which is updated regularly. So I would say that for India, for Jammu and Kashmir to be in pace with the global, education standards, we have to be, more relying on the online things as well. Of course, that has to be very reliable platforms where we can focus on not everything online is accurate.
Accurate, right.
But so the point is now that a teacher has to be, devoting more time. Of course, when the technology is there, of course, but the implementation part is different.
Right.
Tools are one thing, but when you really go to the class is a different thing. Now, giving an example, in my university, for example, now in AELSA Jammu, we have given a great change to this teaching standards. We are moving towards smart classrooms, virtual classrooms, and especially what you call as the blended learning, where we are, integrating the classroom education with the digital content. So this is becoming very, very important these days. And another thing is that when we blend the things, especially when we talk about the flipped classrooms nowadays, and the collaborative learning. So there is now a complete paradigm shift, and so many options are available.
Absolutely.
In the public domain as well.
Right.
So I think it is very, very important for a teacher and a student, of course, but for an institution as well, to institutionalize all these new changes, all those paradigm shifts which are happening in our surrounding, so that we become more competitive, and we move with the globalized world.
Right.
That's my take on this.
Very well put.
Thank you.
In fact, professional development has become a big challenge because the way professional development happens in schools and how it happens in higher education institutions is completely different. It would be interesting to discuss what are the new areas where we need to have opportunities of professional development for our teachers. And how do we, plan for these, because schools and universities and colleges, they make their yearly calendars, their academic calendars, and they do plan for professional development activities. But it is always a challenge as to in what areas we need to have this professional development.
See, I have seen for the last now couple of years, maybe 2 to 3 years, that as and when the enrollment in the higher education institutions, particularly in the universities and the colleges, have started. Of course, there is a challenge throughout the country. I believe that there is a decline in admission. So it's not like that the way students used to go and take the admission in any subject. I believe that now the students first analyze, rather their parents analyze, that if my son or daughter is going to take admission in masters or bachelors in somewhere else, what is going to be the future for her? Because you see, it's not like the earlier times when students would complete the degrees and not think about the jobs. But now students are very curious, they are very cautious that if they are going to sit in the college or the university for 3 to 4 years, so what after 3 to 4 years? So therefore there is a shift, there is a change. What we have seen that the students usually opt for technology courses, whether it is a cyber security, whether it is the artificial intelligence, whether it is the computer science. So mostly, even I can talk about my own university. Most of the students, the biggest level of admission has been towards the cyber security. It is the artificial intelligence, to the machine learning, and to the other things like that. So the shift is already there, but you know that as being a responsible or that officer of the university, we need to upgrade not only that very part, but others also. One thing I also want to make it clear through this Palette Forum, I have seen a very good thing among the youngsters right now. The youngsters, most of the youngsters opt for civil service, which is a good thing. It's welcome. We should welcome that thing. So a lot of things need to be changed, and which is actually not only the sole responsibility of an institution. I mean that the society has to come forward, the government has to come forward, then things can be done to the best.
Right. Sir, from your side, any suggestions? What areas of professional development?
He has said very rightly that there is a decline in enrollment now in higher education particularly. So we have to think in that way, that how we are going to, in earlier session also, the question came that how we are going to make attractive our education or our teaching and our professional skills. So in that way, if you see that way at our university, we have FDP programs continuously to upgrade the knowledge and the use of techniques for the teachers.
Right.
But, and we have very good smart classrooms and all sort of digital things available there. But the question is that how we are going to make it competitive for the teachers. So he is also thinking that if I will not do this, then I will not remain in the system.
Right.
So as I told you earlier that now our children are very smart. They are digitally very much empowered. So in that way, our teachers has to be cope up with that use of technology, especially with the use of AI. Now we are seeing that our content is enriched in some way.
Right.
It's a slave or your personal assistant or your master. It all depends on you, this technology. So in that way, if you see that our faculty development program usually are in a very traditional way of doing things. Now there is a need, and especially National Education Policy 2020 empowers to the student that they can go and they can opt for different kind of programs, and there must be a skill-oriented exposure to them. In that way, this is again challenge where our teachers they have to see that how they are going to upgrade, especially, and faculty development program is right now is a good thing, one tool, where this kind of orientation for the teachers is required, especially using AI for the course content as well as developing a better syllabus bringing into the system.
Yeah, these are two important areas. But what I feel is higher education, it lacks one important aspect. You may give them a lot of tools and technology, but it is the pedagogical, training of how to teach and the, methodology of teaching. That is the, I think so, lacking part, which is a very strong, point in schools. Because there a lot of focus is on how to teach, but this how to teach component is somewhat missing in higher education.
If I will just ask you, recall the teachers since your class 1, to whom you remember today. Anyone in this room, you will remember only those teachers, those who were very good and they brought you into a subject. Like for my personal example, till class 10th, we had a very good chemistry teacher. So we were very much focused that we will go to take chemistry in 11th or 12th. That time it was a flexibility. But when we landed to another school, our botany teacher was very good. So we lost interest in the chemistry and we went to the botany. So in that way, if you think that finally I ended with the botany at the last, so in that way, you think there's a motivating force in the education is your teacher.
That's right.
Which takes you, which guides you, and he or she inspires you where you are going to take the subject or not. But today, in a digital world, our children are very competitive and very alert that what they want. Another example is from one of my niece. She did simply BCom from a very traditional university. And she is still surviving with the Google. And I always ask her that how in this a competitive world when everybody is thrown out the company, you are still surviving with that. So she said, I have developed several skills during my work. So it was 15 years back. But today, if you see that these skills are available at your doorsteps in your classrooms.
Right.
So orientation of a student and taking as a very forcing engine kind of a thing by a teacher is very important these days.
That's right.
Thank you.
You want to add something?
Yeah, I just want to add here that we need a shift. We need to have the industry-academia collaborations. For example, I'm just saying the names of this IBM. I would say that as an institution, we need to collaborate with industry so that these industry partners can come more close to the institutions and get the people well trained. Maybe as a teacher I'm not so well trained, but if you have an industry people around you, so they will teach your faculty. They will add your, I would say that, experience to the faculty as well as they will teach your students. So there can be a two-way joint collaboration.
Yes.
Now one thing. The second thing is that the students who will definitely come out will be purely a technology kind of the thing. So in fact, maybe the best students can be then taken by the industry itself. So that is how the collaboration can work.
Yes, definitely.
So
that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, please.
I tell you that sir, you have made a very good point, and I'm happy to tell you that our university has already moved far ahead in this. AELSA Jammu has a unique distinction in the country of appointing professors of practice. Now let me tell you, what is a professor of practice? I would say that now we are crossing the boundaries of the academia and moving towards the industry. That's what Dr. was referring to. And as for UGC, anybody who has 10 to 15 years of experience in industry can be inducted as a professor of practice in the university.
That's right.
That is the one way to bridge the gap. That's what Dr. was referring to.
Right.
And I would say that we have already we in AELSA Jammu, we frequently conduct industry academia meets. In the recent past, we have conducted 2 industry academia meets where more than 35 national international companies have participated, and the net result of that was the induction of professors of practice in the university. We have a professor of practice from the MIER, we have from the BioVed, many other industries, and now those people are having regular interface with our students, giving them a real-time exposure of the corporate sector, which academician cannot do. And the net result now is that we are finding a quite, shift in the mindset of the students who were for example, if we talk about the undergraduates, previously they were more oriented towards the higher education, but now After this induction of professors of practice, now their mindset is changing, and now they are trying to seek, job in the private sector after graduation.
Yes.
And not only this, the story doesn't end here. Now we are talking about entrepreneurships. Now we are talking about startups. Now just imagine, just an undergraduate coming out of the institution is talking about taking a challenge or becoming a job giver than a job seeker,
Absolutely.
So this is becoming a reality, and this is becoming a reality in your neighborhood, the Scotch Jammu, I would say. So we feel proud in this, that we have taken a lead in the country for bringing and bridging the gap of the industry and academia. That's what is happening there. Now coming next to your question of empowering the teacher or the faculty improvement, this is very, very important. For example, with the inception of NEP 2020, we have already embraced it, schools have embraced it. But now you see, for a couple of years, there is a complete paradigm shift in education system. In undergraduate level, we have multiple entry-exit options. We exit with a certificate, we exit with a diploma, presuming that we'll find a job. So there is entry of new age courses, but teachers are the same. So definitely we need to, give them more emphasis on their training as well, so that they can handle those challenges of present times.
That's right.
That's my, suggestion.
No, excellent.
Thank you.
But what I have is one small, gripe with the system of professional development is that it is not an ongoing process. We always talk about professional development after summer break, 3 days, after winter break, this time, whenever the examinations are going on, teachers are free, put them on a professional development. So it looks like an afterthought rather than a well laid out plan to train the teachers throughout the year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how can this mindset be changed and we really take the training of teachers, professionally and in a serious manner?
Yeah. I tell you that you rightly said that this should not be occasional affair. Unless all these things are institutionalized, I would say, at the highest academic body of the university or anybody of the school, if it is institutionalized, there is a calendar of activities being announced in the beginning of the year that the teacher will undergo such and such training, all of them. I think that's the only way. Otherwise, it should not be on the bill of the teacher that whether he or she is interested to go for the training or not. So I think it should be mandatory. It should be institutionalized. Unless it is done, I don't think so this is going to help. That's my take on this.
Yeah, and before you take on that, is my other thought is that it is more of a top-down approach of trainings. We never have kind of a training needs survey as to what exactly teachers want. I mean, what are those areas where teachers actually want training, but it's like what the head of the institution decides, these are the areas for training, you do the training whether it is required or not.
I will not agree exactly with the entire whatever you said, because at my university, we have these faculty development programs designed and announced by several institutions of the country and well in advance. So our teacher regularly participate into that. Many times it happens that we have very serious concerns about something and we call an emergency meeting. So our teachers are having their mobile in their pockets and conducting this FDP and they are
at the Mohan Malviya centers and all those they have.
So they are engaged. I mean to say that they are already engaged throughout the year. It all depends that what kind of interest they have. Primary thing is that if you say that it could be like a B.Ed kind of a training, so then it is a difficult, especially on the higher education, where you have a flexibility of your mind that how you want to develop your faculties. So in that way, I consider that it should be a flexible program, oriented towards your faculties, that how they want to pursue and they want to develop their knowledge, trainings and all other things. We have mechanism right now, but it is not forcefully acted. And I believe that higher education is it should be a free of mind.
Right.
Yeah.
If you can add to this.
I agree, in fact, with the professor's remarks. But I am, again, of this belief that as teacher, we need to revolutionize ourselves. We need to get up, because if you talk about the NEP 2020, things have totally changed. It's, of course, it's going to be a very revolutionized kind of the thing that is going to make the whole education scenario, whether you talk about the higher education or you talk about the school education somewhere else in the country, somewhere in the country. I would say that as teacher, I have to be very much, I had to prepare myself. Rather, I can say that I had to prepare myself. Because if you talk about the technology, we are trying to link the technology with the academia. Then and then there are prospects of the jobs and other things. Because we need to always to produce the best output from the institutions. That can be only done, whatever the training, whatever the teaching I am giving to my students. The first thing is that I have to be myself very strong. I have to be very smart. Then and then I can transfer that smartness to my students.
Right.
Yes.
I will just add to this. What he has said is very correctly that it all depends on the individuals. If you see that NEP 2020 when it came, and the batch of the teachers, especially in higher education, ranging from in the different age class. So those who are new into the system, they are very easily adopting it. But those who have been in the late 50s, it is always difficult for them to deviate the way they were doing the things. So this is a one major bottleneck right now, but I believe that for the next few years, things will change, and this technology, tools, and new instruments, they will come into the place, and then everybody is forced to do that.
Right. No, that's a good idea. In fact, I just want to touch on one point. When we talk about trainings and everything, the focus ultimately shifts to technology and the tools. My one, thought or one question could be, how do you think, this AI revolution can help start the concept of self-regulated learning, where our teachers, our professors in the universities are not dependent upon pre-programmed, premeditated training sessions, but can they actually become self-regulated learners using AI technologies and keep themselves updated with whatever maybe content is required or some new developments in their own fields are required?
I think what you are talking about is already there, isn't it? It is now a reality. Even the child, when he is born, 2 or 3 years old, they know what is AI. Earlier they used to say when the child is born, Ma, I, now they say AI.
Right.
So this is becoming the order of the day. So I would say that this is, I think in my institution, if I talk about, people are, freely using AI for surfing the content, generating the content. The only I think is that what prompt you are giving, what type of content you are trying to, harness from there, and the ChatGPT or all that, which particular version you are using. For example, if you're using a free version, it may be keeping you 5 or 6 years behind what's now there. But if you're using a paid version, but you have to pay for it. So you can have something, which is updated and all that. Absolutely. So I would say that the teachers are already using it, and definitely I could see in my institution also the way the things are disseminated is changing. The information which is being disseminated has changed a lot,
right,
and that contains most of the latest developments. Right. The happiest part is that India, I would say that India is no way far behind. Even when I said I was recently outside, so I could see that we are almost neck to neck, everyone. And good part is that we are embracing the technology very comfortably and with a very positive mindset.
Right.
And another thing is how we are using technology at a faster paces, because the accessibility to the Wi-Fi's, internet, mobile phones, so, and the cheapest internet available ever I could see in our country.
Absolutely.
If you go outside, you will not find that way. Right. So I would say that we are already on to it, and I think it's a very happy and a comfortable situation in the country. Thank you.
You said very correctly that it is a self-regulatory process of learning. I still recall that, still from my, again, personal experience, in 1982 when I was doing masters, then my teacher that time, 1982, when you don't have any such kind of techniques, technologies to dig out information immediately, we were taught latest theory of 1981 in photosynthesis, Gernon and Arnold theory. Still I remember that, because it was a very new, thrilling as a student that, we are learning so new things, latest thing. So that kind of self-regulatory was available. It all depends that how I take my action to, I will take to my classroom.
Right.
Again, I will quote that teacher as a person, because it all depends upon him, the way he would wish. But he has to come to the expectations of the technology. He has to come to the expectation of the students. He has to come to the expectations of the NEP 2020. So the idea is that we are not asking or blaming someone. I mean, say that the system, as a system, being the teacher in the system, we need to be very serious, cautious, and very hard working towards the subject.
That's right. No, absolutely well said. We are actually coming to the end of this discussion. So one last probably question would be, what do you think is the role of leadership in all of this, especially in our institutions, in schools, in higher education institutions? How should leaders perceive professional development? What do you think, maybe at policy level, or should we have a proper policy for professional development of teachers? Or maybe, I mean, how do you see, where is the leadership taking us today?
Yeah, I would say that this is a very, very important question, and the way the things are changing, I would say, leadership at the top is very, very important. And I would say that the leader who is heading the institution should be more updated than the people down the ladder, so that he can give them a right direction. And I would say that the heart of everything is initiative. How much I'm interested to take my institution, suppose I am a dean over there. I have to be doing the 10% more hard work than my professors. Then only then I can guide them that this is new in the market, you can try this, I would say. But if I myself is not updated, what I'm going to give them? So the point is that leader has to be 10%, 20% more, educated in the latest what is happening around, and then he will be able to implement it.
Definitely.
So that is very, very important, I would say. And now it is becoming a reality, and it is sometimes becoming a very embarrassing situation if your professor comes with a more, better idea as a leader than you. So I would say that it happens on many occasions in many institutions. So as a vice chancellor, somebody is a vice chancellor or a dean or a head of the department. So leadership, for them, they have to be, regularly updated. As we are all academicians, and we must see that what latest is going on. And your updation is directly affecting your stakeholders, your students. So that tomorrow they have to be launched in the market.
Absolutely.
So when I have seen many times that when the companies come for placement, they really try to find out that how much, beyond the textbook knowledge, what else what's happening in the surrounding, what is in the market, what is the trending in the market. So that's what I'm telling you, that the leaders have to be first updated. Then you can, disseminate things down the ladder, and definitely then it will bring the change. Don't expect the change from bottom up. It will come from top to bottom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just to conclude that leaders, you can't create. So if I will take myself as a leader, then it is not true. Unless until that my act is inspiring someone to follow my path. And to do that, as Professor Saab said, we have to be very updated in this current era. And second thing is very truly said, that we can have a leadership process from both the ends, top to down and from bottom to up. You see, throughout the globe, the major revolutions have been or were witnessed from the universities, either by the professors or by the students. So you see the leadership, it always comes from your inside. But if you want to make it is not the right platform to say, but if you want to compete as a leaders between 3, 4, 5 kind of
institutions or departments?
No, not. I mean to say that if you are on a same platform and you want to compete between the 3, 4 people as a leader, then you have to be very competitive in that way that you are far ahead than the others.
Others, right.
Then you have to keep yourself updated, and you will be well equipped with the tools of your field. Whether it is a politics, whether it is academics, whether it is a training course, you will see that you will find different kind of leaders in every place. Even in the student unions, you will find a boy or a girl who is better than the others. So they have a better chance to be a leader.
Obviously.
So you have to be updated, And it is, as we said earlier, it is a self-regulatory mechanism, and you cannot be created. You can have a follower, those you can create followers, but you cannot create leaders in that.
Thank you so much.
If I am a teacher, I am a researcher, not necessarily I can be a good leader. Leadership qualities are entirely different. You need to have those things. And it's very important question, because as leader, I am the person who will be responsible
Absolutely.
for taking the institution to the new level. And there, because I will be a decision maker, because I am on the top, I am a decision maker. So my leadership qualities are very important, and those leadership qualities cannot be assessed by myself. So they will be differently assessed by a system. So that system is very important, and that system should be very transparent. I mean to say that if I have to be appointed as a head of the institution, the transparent system should be there so that they will assess all the leadership qualities, irrespective of that whether I have been a good teacher or a researcher, because that's very important.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'm sure as we come to the end of this discussion, we've had a very insightful, session. It percolates right from the leadership towards the teachers in their professional development, the role of technology and the latest tools. And obviously, if teachers don't become self-regulated learners, irrespective of what the leaders plan for them, they would still not acquire those skills that are required for them to improve their classroom interaction, their classroom learning environments and their institutions. So thank you, gentlemen, for this very insightful session. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you to our panel for beautifully reinforcing that teachers are the true change makers and the catalyst to transforming the India. क्योंकि शिक्षक जब तक खुद सशक्त नहीं होगा, तब तक देश का भविष्य सशक्त नहीं होगा. I request Chandan sir to kindly join on the stage for the felicitation ceremony.